So Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I know a lot of people know what it is. Like, come on, let's be real here. That's the reason why you clicked the video. It is a celebration of all video games. And there are a lot of characters in video games. Like, there are a lot. So a lot of characters could make it in. And I feel like that's one of the joys about Smash Bros. Because even though I'm a casual player, I still love the game for many reasons, and one of the main reasons why I love the game is because anytime a new game comes out for Smash Brothers, or anytime a DLC pass gets announced, I love just sitting down and trying to think who's going to be on that pass or who's going to make it into that base roster, because there's so many characters, and it's just a lot of fun. And I think that's one of the main reasons why I love Smash so much, is because you get to try to figure out who's going to come to the game. So seeing that Pyra and Mythra have been recently announced to be the next DLC character in Smash, I just wanted to make a wishlist video talking about the top 5 characters I would like to see come to the game as DLC. Whether that be through this DLC pass, because there are a couple spots left, or on another DLC pass if they announce it, I would just like to see these characters come to the game because I think these characters are interesting. Half of these characters some people talk about all the time, and the other half are like, characters I don't really hear talked about at all. But, I think these characters are pretty interesting, and again, this is my wishlist video. These are characters I would personally like to see come to the game, and it is not a prediction video, so yeah. But with all that out of the way, let's begin the wishlist video. Alrighty, so starting off with pick number 1, I have Master Chief from Halo. So a lot of people know what Halo is. It is a big game. Like, come on, let's be real here. You know what it is. It's got Master Chief in it, and I think Master Chief's design is super cool. And seeing that Halo Infinite is coming out soon, I think it would be a prime time to add him into the game. And I think his moveset would be pretty cool because of all the different weapons Master Chief uses in the Halo games. Like, you have the energy sword, the gravity hammer, the needler, stuff like that. Like, there are so many weapons you can choose from. Not to mention, like, Master Chief himself is an iconic character. Most people know of Master Chief. Even if you don't know his name, you can pretty much recognize him. Like, he's pretty iconic, I would say. And Halo is a great series. And again, seeing that a new game is coming out soon, Halo Infinite, I can totally see him coming into the game. So for my next pick, I would like to see a new Pokemon rep. And again, this is another thing people have been talking about, seeing that the Pokemon anniversary is coming up soon. And, there are like Diamond and Pearl remake leaks and, talk and discussion and theories happening about that. So I could totally see a Pokemon rep happening, but I mainly want to see a grass type. Think about it. We have 2 fire types and 2 water types, being Squirtle and Greninja and Charizard and Incineroar, but we only have 1 grass type rep, which is Ivysaur. And seeing that they're all starters, I would feel like a grass type starter would work out pretty well. So when the game was first getting announced, I hoped Decidueye would make it into the game because, Sun and Moon was out around that time, but they added Incineroar, which I wasn't disappointed, but like, come on, add another grass type Pokemon. Like, where's the love for the grass types? And I was thinking about which grass type starter would work pretty well, and, there are only a couple generations that aren't represented in the game right now, being Gen 3, Gen 5, and Gen 8, I think. At least I believe. Those are the ones that are not represented right now. And looking over those starters, Sceptile, Serperior, and Rillaboom, I feel like Sceptile would be the only one that would be interesting and or could work. Because Serperior is a snake. I don't really see him working out too well. He could, but I feel like Sceptile would be cooler. And Rillaboom is cool and all, but like, I feel like Sceptile would just be cooler, Again, I feel like Sceptile would be like a lot more cooler. And not to mention Sceptile has like a Mega Evolution and stuff, and I would just like to see Sceptile because who doesn't love Sceptile? He could have like Bullet Seed, Leaf Blade. You can incorporate his Mega Evolution. Like, I think he would work really well. And again, I feel like we need more grass type Pokemon, at least starter wise. And I feel like Sceptile would represent that really well with Ivysaur. So that's why I picked Sceptile. Alrighty, so for these next couple picks, not a lot of people talk about these characters. So let's just start off with this first character, or first characters, which is the Knights from Castle Crashers. Castle Crashers is a fantastic game. I love Castle Crashers. It's so much fun just to sit down with your friends on the couch, just playing this game because, it's a 4-player game, so you can have like 4 of your friends pick a knight, and you guys would go through the game and fight different bosses and monsters, level up your magic skills. Like, it is so much fun. The story is really funny and cool and just a blast to play through. And I think these guys would be really interesting because think about it. The way they could possibly work is, you know, each knight would be a different skin, and depending on the skin you pick is depending on the fire ability, or not the fire, the magic ability you would get. So like if you pick the green knight, you would get like a poison ability. If you pick the blue knight, you would get an ice ability. If you pick the red knight, you get an electric ability. If you pick the orange knight, you get a fire ability. Like, that would be so cool. Just depending on the skin you pick is the magic you would get with the knight. And maybe each knight would carry like a different weapon. Like the green knight would carry like an axe. The blue knight might carry like a sword, or the red knight might carry a hammer. Now, I'm not saying that these weapons would do anything different, but it would just be a nice touch. And there's other things in the moveset that they could possibly have, like the sandwiches that like buff you up. That would be pretty cool. They also have like arrows and bows. They also have shields and stuff. There's so much you can do with these characters, and I feel like they would be an awesome, you know, pick because, again, Castle Crashers is a fantastic game. Most people I talk to who played the game say they love the game, and I think it'd be a really nice pick because they're cool characters. I feel like they fit the aesthetic of Super Smash Bros., and just giving them the different magic abilities would make them unique. Also, for Castle Crashers, just think about the stages and the soundtracks. Like, the stages would look fantastic, and like the soundtracks would be like amazing because Castle Crashers soundtrack is fantastic. I don't know if you've ever heard it, but like, it is great. It is really great, and that's why I want to see Castle Crashers come to Smash Bros. So moving on to my next pick, I have Pea Shooter from Plants vs. Zombies. So Pea Shooter would be pretty cool because Plants vs. Zombies have been out for a while now. It's, you know, a pretty well-known game, and it's got a couple spin-offs. It's got like Garden Warfare and stuff like that, and that game is fantastic in my opinion. I really like that game a lot, and I think he would be pretty cool because he can incorporate like so many different like plants into his moveset, because Plants vs. Zombies has like a lot of like unique plants. And think about it, you can have like the walnut for protection, you can have that firewood thing, I forget what it's called, but you can put it in front of Pea Shooter, and maybe when he fires his projectile it catches on fire and causes an explosion. You can also have different variations of Pea Shooter, like the double Pea Shooter, the Gatling gun Pea Shooter, not to mention in Garden Warfare you had like the fire Pea Shooter, the toxic Pea Shooter. Like, there's so many different things you can do for his moveset, and you can represent so many different plants in that moveset from the game. And I know a lot of people might say that he might not work because, you know, in Plants vs. Zombies you kind of like plant these plants and they don't really move, but in Garden Warfare, you know, they move, and that's a Plants vs. Zombies game, so that kind of already fixes that issue. You know, you can see them moving in that game, and I think he'd be just really cool because a lot of people know about Plants vs. Zombies, you know, a lot of people do, and I would just like to see him come to the game because of all the different kind of moveset variety he might have with the different plants. So for my final pick, I have Maxwell from Scribblenauts, and the reason why I picked Maxwell is because I think his moveset has a lot of potential. Like, it could be very interesting, it could be very creative, and the reason why I think that is because of his game, Scribblenauts. Scribblenauts is a game where you have to use your imagination to beat the game. Like, there are a lot of levels and objectives and puzzles you have to beat using your imagination. You have to write whatever you want to spawn in, and hopefully that item will help you beat the game. Like, for example, if there's like a fire or like a ravine you have to cross, you have to figure out how to put out that fire or how to cross that ravine with your imagination. And it's a lot of fun. I remember spending a lot of time on that game as a kid. I think you would have a very cool moveset because, again, you have to use your imagination in the game. So there are like a lot of things you can pull from that game. Like, he had like shrink rays, you can spawn in, like you can spawn in magical wands, you can spawn in weapons of any kind. There's just so much you can do with it, and I think he would have a very interesting moveset. Like, again, you have to use your imagination to beat the game, and I think that could give his moveset a lot of different potential, and that's why I picked Maxwell, because of his creative potential in the game. But yeah, those are the 5 characters I would like to see come to Super Smash Bros. The most. Again, some of them are characters people talk about all the time, and others I feel like not a lot of people talk about them, but I feel like they could work very well in Super Smash Bros. Again, this was my wish list, meaning these are characters I would personally like to see come to the game, so it's not anything like a prediction or anything like that, but hopefully one day these characters will make it into the game because I think they could be pretty interesting and pretty cool. Again, there are a couple spots left on this DLC pass, or maybe if they do another one, who knows, but I would like to see these characters eventually get into Super Smash Bros. Hopefully one day. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below. Who would you like to see come to Smash? Who are your top 5 characters? There are so many characters that could hopefully one day come into Smash. Like, there are so many different video games with so many different video game characters. So, you know, there's a lot of characters that could make it in. So let me know down in the comments below who are your top 5 characters, because I would love to hear your guys' list as well. If you guys did enjoy, please like and subscribe. That would be amazing. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time. Later.